Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be answering some questions that I get from people on my site here and my Patreon or even on my Facebook group. So I decided to go and address some of the questions that I do get. So let's see. Got here the first one. First question is a lot of people always ask, where do I get my drawings and pictures or models of the stuff that I use on my site to show you guys how to do? Well, I've made a couple videos in the past explaining how I get those pictures and stuff like that. And if you want to, you can look at those videos. But most of the times, what I do, let's say if I want to model like an F4 jet, what I do, I'll go do a Google search and I will put F4 Phantom blueprints. And by putting that word blueprint in there, a lot of pictures will come up and everything. If you don't put blueprint in there, you may not get a lot of search results, but most likely you'll find what you're looking for if you put that word blueprint in there. So like if you're looking for an F-15, just put F-15 blueprints or etc. or I don't know, an A4 Skyhawk, put A4 Skyhawk blueprints or an SR-71 blueprints. Now, once you find some pictures of the plane you want to model, and it has formers in it, it's showing you all the formers, then what I do next, because normally if it's showing me formers, the picture's not, sometimes they're not very good pictures. So what I'll do next is go over to a site called The Blueprints, and I'll look for the picture there, and then I can find, so a lot of times, a lot of bigger pictures and much more detailed pictures to model the plane from. And so once again, just look for that, when you're doing your Google search, just put in there blueprint, or go over to the site called The Blueprints, and look for your airplane or car, whatever you want to model there. And the models that I do find that I show you on my site when I'm doing some reverse engineering or reverse stuff like that, how I find those models, I go to GrabCAD, another good site where you can find models of stuff like that. And a lot of times you can find the files, let's say you want to model an F-15, but you don't want to spend the time to actually do the actually modeling. You just want to get the plane and do some reverse engineering there. And what you do there, you can go over there and find the file that works with your CAD software. So if you're using SolidWorks, find a model over there of what you want to model in SolidWorks or Fusion 360 and use that. So yeah, so that's how I find my models. Okay, question number 2. I get this a lot. A lot of people will comment on the way I modeled something. Let's say if I modeled, for instance, this particular plane in front of me. If I modeled this canopy and I did it a certain way, some people will ask, well, why didn't I do it another way? Well, that's a good question. And a lot of the times when I model this stuff for you, I'm showing you as I'm learning how to do it right away. I'm recording it and showing you guys the steps and process I go through to doing this. And so the first thing that pops into my head, I'll just go ahead and use that way of doing it instead of, taking time and thinking about it, what would be a much more efficient way of modeling a certain thing, etc. So for example, let's say I want to model just a ball or a sphere, just a ball. And I draw my sketch and I just draw, half of it, sketch half of it, and then I'll just revolve that around. And that'll give me a sphere. Now that's one way of doing it, but there's a lot easier way of doing that just by, clicking on sphere up there and selecting the size that you want. And that way is easy way of doing that. So yeah, there are just a lot of ways of doing things with CAD, and there are more efficient ways of doing them, and certain ways are faster. And I wouldn't say certain ways are better. It's just if you get the same results you know, if whether it took you 10 minutes or 1 minute to do something, if you get the same results, the only difference is time. So if you have time, you know, you can take all the time you want to get the thing you want, but always work towards efficiency. But like I said, with me, I'm doing the things right away, showing you guys how to model them. And so the thing, whatever way I'm showing you, is the first thing that pops into my head of how to do certain things. But now if I had a whole lot of time, then I would actually sit there and think about several ways how I want to do something, and just think about what would be a more efficient way of doing it. Another question I'll get a lot is, why did I use the form and not surface modeling certain things? Again, that depends on speed and the complexity of the model. If I can look at something as a form and model it right away, I'll go ahead and do that because it's just fast. I wouldn't say surface modeling or form modeling, you know, one is more accurate than the other. It's because I can get some really accurate models with surface modeling or using forms. It's just the complexity and how fast I want to do something. If the model's really complex and I have you know, time, then I can find formers for it, I would probably just go ahead and use surface modeling. But if I cannot find formers for it, then I'll just go ahead and use forms. And then if the model is too complex, then I have to use other means of modeling a particular model. I don't know what it's called, but if I don't have formers, then I have to think about what I'm going to do and draw everything out, and to get the shapes and everything. So to me, one or the other is just for speed and time, and that's all. And another question I get quite a bit, some people ask, why do I not finish certain models? That's because of time. If I do a certain model and I'm at an hour, hour and 10 minutes, then I don't want to go longer than that because I don't know, it's people sometimes don't want to see long videos and stuff like that. And then when I don't finish a model, that's because I don't get enough interest coming back to the model to show more. So let's say if I got you know, 2,000 views on the first section showing people how to model the whatever I'm showing you guys how to model what particular airplane, then I'll do a part 2 on that particular model. I will only get a fraction of the views coming people coming back to see the rest of the model, being how to do rest of it. So when I do that, I show you the most difficult parts of the model, how to model those. And that way you can go back and look through my other videos and pull a lot of that information on my earlier models I showed you guys how to model, pull a lot of that information and apply it to that model that I didn't finish for you. Because a lot of times, let's say I show you how to do a duct, pretty much rest of the plane is done the same way. So again, I show you the most difficult part, how to model that. And rest of the plane, you know, like a fuselage or something like that, it's pretty much done again like I did that duct. And the wings, the vertical stabs and the horizontal stabs, those are pretty much, if you watch any of my videos, they're all done the same way. Nothing's new there. The only thing is that you may have to use a different plane, you know, if the horizontal stabs have antidihedral or something like that, or the wings come down or up or something like that. You just have to put those on a different plane, and you just use your plane at an angle to do that. And if you watch, let's say if you watch some of my videos, I show you guys how to do that too, you know, the plane at an angle, stuff like that, and sketch on top of those and stuff like that. So that's why I don't finish some of the airplanes, because of time, and I don't get a lot of people coming back to watch the second portion of that. But what you can do is join my Patreon site and go over there and ask me, would I show you how to do rest of the airplane? And a lot of times I don't have to show you how to do rest of the airplanes. I can just give you the file for it, and you'll just look down the timeline and see what I've done for the model, that particular model, and that's like you know, it's CAD Build Fly RC. Okay. Okay, another question that I get a lot of is which CAD software is the best? Well, that's a tricky question, and I wouldn't say one is the best. They're all different, but they all pretty much work the same. It's just that some will give you, you know, they all give you different results of what you want. Like Fusion 360, if, what I show you guys how to model, and that, a lot of that stuff will apply to SolidWorks as well, or plasticity. You just have to know where the commands are, but it's pretty much the same. The only difference I've seen so far with Fusion 360 and say SolidWorks is that Fusion 360 has form modeling, and the form modeling can make things easier to do. And SolidWorks doesn't have form modeling, but I do believe they have. I can't recall what it's called, but they have a form modeling, an add-on to it that you have to purchase, and you can do form modeling in that. And plasticity, it doesn't have form modeling. Everything is pretty much surface modeling, but it has some really nice tools for surface modeling to get you the nice smooth curves that you need. So, you know, like this up around here, it can give you all the nice smooth curves that you'll need. So again, there's not one better than the other. They're just all different, and they give you different results, and you have to find one that works for you, and you get the results that you want, and you know, within your price line. Because to me, I would like to have CATIA, but it's an expensive software, and so Fusion it is. So yeah, so just find one that you can work with and learn as much of it as you can and go from there with it. Another question that I get is surface modeling more scale than form modeling? And I wouldn't say so. It just depends how much work you want to put into something. If you put a lot of work in the form modeling, you can get it really scale too. And if you put a lot of work in the scale modeling, or excuse me, surface modeling, you can get that really scale too. So it just depends on what you want to do with it and stuff like that. So the time, it's of essence, but sometimes you can't use form, so you have to use the surface modeling. But again, you can get really detailed, you know, like other programs like Blender and some other things. They're more of a mesh type modeling and everything like that, but they're highly detailed. So form modeling and surface modeling, it just depends on what you want to do with it and how important that is. And another question that I get, people always ask, can I start a model from the beginning and go through the whole process of showing how to, you know, be able to 3D print it, how to cut it up for the 3D printing and stuff like that. Now, I've done some videos of that earlier on my channel. You can go back and have a look at those videos. Excuse me. And you can see how that's done. If you just watch any of my videos, it shows you how I model the airplane, how I did that, got the airplane that I wanted. And then if you watch the how to do the internal structure for 3D printing, just go back and watch one of those videos, and it'll show you how to do that for an internals of the airplane and stuff like that. And then if you want to make molds of that, you know, then I show you how to make molds off the model itself in Fusion 360 for you. So you can do that as well. And so yeah, just have a look at some of my earlier videos, and it shows you how to do that. And another question that I sometimes get is, how do I do the surfaces on my my 3D printed molds? And again, if you have a look at my earlier videos, so I explain how to do that in quite detail, and how you get that mirror finish on there. One video is like how to get a mirror finish on a 3D printed mold. Just have a look at that video, or I did another one earlier, and it explains all of that. Let's see what other question I have down here. Okay. Some people ask, how long did it take me to learn Fusion 360? Now, I started learning Fusion 360 probably about 5 years ago. And what really helped me learn Fusion 360, when it all just made sense, was, believe it or not, that everything is drawn on a plane. And once I understood that everything's drawn on a plane, then everything just clicked and it just went from there. So I've been working with it for several years now, and I've got a lot more to go with it and stuff like that. But if you're just learning Fusion 360, don't get frustrated with it like that. Just keep going and going and going, or just when you do get frustrated, just walk away from it for a while and then come back to it. And you'll find that things can be much easier doing stuff like that. But it is not difficult. To me, all the CAD software, and just my opinion, they're all going to require some time sitting down and working with them, on your own and trying to get everything to work. And once you have an understanding of what's going on, then everything will, start clicking. And again, if you don't use the software a lot, then you forget a lot of things, because I forget things too. Certain commands that I haven't used in a while, or I've done something in the past, I'll wonder, how did I do that? And a lot of times I'll go back and refer to my own videos and look at that and see how I did something, because I forgot how to do it, because I don't, do certain things very often with it. So yeah, just look at it that way too. And let's see, what other questions have I been asked? Okay, that's pretty much it for now. And so yeah, but anyway, if you have any questions or comments and stuff like that about my channel and everything, just go ahead and leave them down there in the comments. And yeah, but if you're new to my channel, also go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you like my videos, hit that like button as well. And also I invite you to join my Facebook group and my Patreon site. And both are called CAD Build Fly RC. And like I've always told you guys in the past, I'm trying to make this a full-time job, teaching you guys how to model these airplanes and stuff in CAD. And so if you can, go ahead and join my Patreon site over there, and my my Facebook group.
Subscribe for more.